Good morning on this wonderful Sunday morning. Well, it's technically afternoon. Nikki's been making me spring clean. I got my goofy beanie on that she bought, which is Bluetooth, so I can get some mad work done. Anyways, I'm gonna quit being ridiculous. Behind me is the Volkswagen van that's running like crap. We're gonna do hopefully a mostly full tune-up on it today. About to change the oil first thing, adjust the valves, go from there. I got electronic ignition I may throw on. I don't know, all kind of blastoids of fun things, but let's get it going. And I got a new toolkit I'm going to show you. Bought it off the Amazons. I think it's a pretty decent deal, but we'll see how fast stuff breaks and then we'll know then, right? Alright, on to doing that. Here's my fancy new toolkit. And here's what we're working on. About to drain all that. Oh, there she goes. Take that loose, let it drain. While it's draining off, I bought a new screen, new gaskets, and screen, of course, came bent. I'm trying to straighten that out. Pretty gnarly leaks under here that I need to fix at some point in life, but gonna adjust the valves today and see if we can get this thing ready before next weekend. Plains car show. Woo! A little tap and we should come free. We'll see. Oh, the joys. Oh, the joys. So you go ahead and get that bad boy off of there. And away she drains. We'll let it drain for a while and then come back. As you saw there, I got a tremendous quantity of oil all over my hands. But I carried the filter, or the screen, and the plate in here. Sprayed a little bit of brake clean on them. Not done yet, but I'll show you how clean that gets them. Kind of nice. Alright, super OCD people, look away, because I'm trying to get the workbench all clean, but this project came in between. So that screen was just covered with oil and a little bit of that brake clean. Still not done. I just didn't want to finish without showing you. Oh, a little more light in the situation. Strobe light. So, yeah. I don't know how I can do this and this, but non-chlorinated brake clean. Apparently that's supposed to kill you. It just tidies it right on up. I'm actually planning on pulling this nut out. I've got a new one of the copper washers to put on that. And then this screen I'm going to clean up, but I'm actually going to put it away because I got a brand new one that I'm going to replace it with. But I'm going to set this to the side just in case I ever need it again. And that's it on the oil change. Put this back the way you got it out. Going to adjust the valves in a minute and go from there. Shaky shake.
I didn't think about that.
So I got this all tidied up. Well, about as good as it's going to get. Tidied up the bottom. You don't have to, but I figured what the heck, it'd be easier to see if it leaks. Try to take this nut off, but I don't have a clamp for the bench, so I'm just going to take it off once I get it underneath there and put the new washer on it. So every time I've ever ordered one of these, this is probably the least bent up one I've ever had. And you probably can't see that on camera, but it didn't arrive very flush. So I'm going to see if I can't straighten this back up. If not, I'm just going to go back with the one I just took off. It's not in very bad shape. But it is kind of cheaper because you wind up getting all the gaskets and washers and all that jazz too. So, got to go put that back on. So I dug into this one. Not that important, but and I found that it had these little metal washers. I don't know if they're aluminum or what, but I didn't want to use them. And I got looking around, and this is one of the kits I got from AutoZone. I want to say it's like $4. It's got all the copper in it. So I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna zip this one up, put it in a Ziploc bag, and throw it back in there till the next time I may need one. I got this thing bent out about the best as I could, and it'll only be 3,000 miles. I'll pull it out, look at it, and see how it did. If not, we'll go back and put the original one back in that. But this is kind of a waste of money altogether. I think from now on I'm going to try to get these from a local shop or something like that, because they don't really ship well. So I went to go try to take this off the other day, and I just thought, oh, if I stuck a screwdriver in here to hold it steady, but it ripped right through here, which annoyed the stew at me. I think I got a video of that I might throw down at the end. But I'm about to rotate it over, and well, I might have to grab some tools. But I'm going to look right here, set it at top dead center, and get this one facing number 1, which is right here. I think some of these distributors actually got it's got a little notch in there. I'm sure you can't see that. Let's see if we can get it focused. But, yep, that little notch right there. Okay, anyways, I'm going to get it facing the top at number 1, and I'm going to check and wiggle the valves. It's been a while since I've done this, and it always makes me nervous the first time, but it's not a whole lot to it. So you're supposed to adjust these things like every 3,000 miles, or I want to say it's like 6 months or something like that. I hardly ever drive this thing, just parades, and we took it on a trip here recently, so that's why I feel like I need to do it. And I'm probably going to pull the carb off today too. I just ordered a carb rebuild kit, and it's just spitting and stuttering. But I'm going to see if the electronic ignition fix it and adjusting everything, and see how well that does and go from there. But it just sounds like it's got some kind of leak in the carb or something. It's just, anyways. So, that's kind of where I'm at now. Glad you're along for the journey. This is just fun. The filter that we got, or the screen, whichever you prefer, I don't know if it's designed, the one with the nut in the center, or if it's designed for just the plate. And it's not quite sitting right, and I'm wondering if I just go ahead and bolt the thing on, if it's going to pull tight, or if it's going to poke a hole in the bottom of that, or what's going on. So I'm going to try to get 2 nuts on here, take this off, and see if I can get it up in there right. And it's only a difference of maybe 1/8 of an inch, and so see how well I can get it to seat up. But that requires getting another nut started, so we'll see what happens. So I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be torqued to a certain bit or something. Normally, you take your smallest ratchet and you take it and grip up on it. Most things, you're not going to over torque it. And then you drop your nut in the oil. I mean your socket in the oil. And that's always fun. Going exploring now. To try to figure out what to do to get that copper off of there, because it's pretty well married. It's supposed to be. Here's the new one. Nice and pretty. And this one is like on there. So I guess I'm gonna take it to the workbench and try to pry that off. Not getting a whole lot done so far. Always the joys. So I physically couldn't bring myself just to put that back on. I gotta figure out how to take it off. I'll be back with you in a minute. It only took a few seconds. A pair of side cutter pliers. Got them out as far as they will go. And kind of got it under both sides. Just massage that little soft copper up. Now, got it up far enough for the flathead. It's going to take a few more minutes to working it off, or a few more seconds. But the pancake is letting go. So that's cool. Well, that's back on there. So, hadn't put more oil in it yet, but it was leaking still, and it doesn't appear to be now doing that. Fingers crossed. Anyways, so now I'm gonna go pop the valve cover off. You know, it's always smart, and I looked at it the other day because I thought I was gonna do this sooner. Look back in your how to keep your Volkswagen Alive book, or your what other manual you got. Just make sure you got your procedure down packed. So I don't want to tell you what it is right now. If you don't have one of those books, you probably don't have a Volkswagen. Or you're just like extremely knowledgeable. But pretty much everyone I know who even knows their stuff have those books. So I'm going to pop this off, see if those valves are loose, like you can pull them back and forth, rattle them. And go ahead and start working on getting those set. Home alone, it's much easier if you have someone here. That way they can go ahead and kind of turn the engine over for you and while you're underneath here and check everything out. But I'm about to go do that now, see how it goes. Talk to you later. Part of a fly zone, and it doesn't happen often, plus I'm not home that often, but it's always cool when you see the military helicopters coming through. Apparently, because we're between Warner Robins, Georgia and Albany, Georgia, I think Albany's got a Marine base, Warner Robins has got a Air Force Base. I think they do some kind of flights in between on the often. Alright, back to this valve cover. I hate buying these rubber ones. They always seem to leak. And this one's not leaking very bad, and you can tell it's still pretty darn new up towards the top. It hasn't been that long since I've done this. But I think I've got a cork one somewhere, so I'm gonna look for that. And I'm also gonna take a beverage break and look back over the procedures and make sure I'm doing this right, because this, like I said, it's been a little while. And I hate replacing these valve cover seals, because I usually use a red gasket sealant stuff. You don't use it on the block side, you use it on the actual valve cover side, and it keeps it in there. So if I can find my cork ones, I'll replace it with cork. And I think I'll probably get 2 changes out of it compared to these rubber ones where you pretty well just get 1. So I got me a fruit roll up and how to keep your Volkswagen alive. Look back at it. I got it set up on cylinder number 1, top dead center for cylinder number 1, and it just didn't feel quite as loose, and so my timing could be off or something. I don't know. I just wanted to double check it real quick. Don't pick on me, okay? Dang sure ain't getting no warmer out here. So finally found everything I needed. Got me a fancy 13 and a flathead, and I'm about to attack these things. So there you go. Check, make sure they got a little bit of play in them. Let you know you're in the right one, or on the right one. And then you get your decimal 006 filler gauge and loosen this up, and then use your flathead. And it's super tricky and super annoying, and I'm not the best at it. So it may take me a while to do this one. Number 1, take less time to do number 2, less time to do number 3, and less time to do number 4. But the first one always takes me forever. I'm gonna throw you over on time lapse. We'll see if we can make this happen. I really hate to move you that soon, but I checked this one and it's good. And I was like, no way that that's still good. Like I said, it hasn't been that many miles, but it stuck through and slid just right, and just a tiny bit of pull. I lost the right filler gauge. I was about to show you. And I was like, there's no way. So I took the 008. See it? Listen. Just a little bit of drag, and then I took the 008 because I wasn't believing it and it wouldn't go through. So it's just right. I'm gonna go on to the next one and see how it is, and hopefully they're all like this. But that would just be too ideal. Just lay my head in a bunch of water and listen. I had to take a break and delete a few things. Number 1's fine. Well, the first ones I did want to tighten. The first valve I did want to tighten a tiny bit, and then the next one I had to tighten up a tiny bit, but it wasn't too terribly far off. About to rotate the engine, go on to number 2, and go from there. I'm running out of space. This is pretty self-explanatory, and there's 100,000 different videos on how to do this. I may pull back and show you how to clean the valve cover up, but I didn't see any extra gaskets for that, so I may just plop this one back on and get some cork ones and change it out in the next week or so. But maintenance on your VW is not a huge deal. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe. I may throw some more stuff on the end here, but I'm just saying, just in case it dies or runs out of space, I gotta hurry up and get this done. It ain't getting no warmer out here, that's for sure. And I laid my head right in water, which is a blast. Anyways, yeah, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for checking out the video. Maybe you learned something, or comment below and tell me I'm an idiot and doing it all wrong. Either way, it won't hurt my feelings. So be sure to subscribe. So this seal, really I like to replace these almost every time I do this. And this seal is not really. The cork is supposed to actually absorb the oil and expand, from what I understand. And this one's just not seated very well. But I've looked around, I don't have any more, so I'm going to have to pop this one back on. Just don't let me forget to pick up a new seal as soon as possible. I feel like I should have had another one, but I guess I don't. So I'm going to plop that back on and move on to cylinder number 3. So none of these valves were very far from where they needed to be. I did have to tighten 1 or 2, just a teeny tiny bit. But it was probably good just the way it was. So I'm gonna plop that cap back on and do something else. So it's nice and clean in here, which always makes me feel pretty good about life.